Hello everybody, Anansi here from Ocean Esports with another Top 100 Dotabuff replay cast. Today we're going to be watching Dayen on the Brewmaster. He's a Top 100 Dotabuff player, has 3,000 games played on this specific hero with a 63, almost 64% win rate. He's ranked number 2. His solo MMR is about 6.4k and he has about 5.5k party. So then, yeah, he plays a pretty solid standard Brewmaster, except for the fact that he goes mid, or at least in this game he'll be going mid. That's not the weirdest thing in the world, but you can see a Brewmaster in the offlane, maybe more normally, and there have been occasions that he goes into the safe lane, although I don't think that's the best place he should go. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, we watch a top 100 Dotabuff ranked player from his perspective, just to learn about the hero, about how this person plays this hero, with the hope that a pub experience, tons of it in any case, is different than what a pro might teach you. But at the very least, we should see very consistent things this player does, which provide success, because 63% over 3,000 games, that is really impressive, guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna put up the last hits and denies, and we're gonna watch Dayen show us how to play Brewmaster. So, starting items, 4 tangos, 2 pull tangos, iron branch, stout shield, and a hatchet. Sorry, a quelling blade. Hondays, guys, they're still with me. And he has in his quick buy already set up a bottle, boots of speed, and wants to build a hand of Midas. Pretty cool now that they have this, yeah, more visual hand of Midas. Looks a lot cooler. So gets himself off a pretty decent creep block. I mean, it's okay, nothing too impressive. Bounty rune. He's up against the puck and decides to go for the Drunken Haze, I believe. Yes, Drunken Haze first. So the way he'll use this skill in lane is spamming it so that his opponent doesn't hit anything, pretty much. And yeah, in the meantime, he's just gonna harass. So he's just gonna spam it because it's a very spammable skill with 25 mana every 8 seconds. Nice long range. This is part of what makes Brewmaster such a strong laner and allows him to, yeah, to not lose. He just, you're not gonna hit him. That's kind of the thing, and you're not gonna hit your last hits. So probably the harder you hit, the more annoying this spell is. Now, to be honest, I don't think he's really winning this. Actually, yeah, 4-0 versus the 2-0 puck. So he's doing a pretty good job to start off with, but has definitely taken quite a lot of damage. And puck has been regening up a fair amount. So now, level 2, Drunken Brawler. This is a passive that allows him to get a dodge chance and also a hit chance. And important to note about the hit chance is, I believe when you skill it, the first hit will always be a crit. And so you might have seen it there. He skilled it and he whacked puck straight away, and I think he did almost what, almost 100 damage or something. It's quite insane. Also allows him to last hit extremely effectively. And yeah, nice. He just keeps up the aggression, keeps going, and between Drunken Brawler and Drunken Haze, he should be extremely hard to kill by any solo hero in any case. Third skill point, sorry, is in Thunderclap. It's an AoE, damage, and slow. Very significant slow. It's part of what makes him such a strong mid-game hero. He thunderclaps in team fights. He's just a mid-game team fight dominator. That's what Brewmaster is. I think that's enough introduction about the hero. At about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, he has received his bottle, so he got it. He bought it at about 2:15, I guess. Looking good, but looks like he's gonna get ganked, and I'll be honest, it's gonna be tough for him to get out of this. Does make sure to get off a clap before he dies, and his teammates are there to follow up. Does just barely not make it out, but at least there's a counter kill on the puck, so the opposing mid hero also dies. although that hero Puck gets the kills first. So hey, he was pretty dead. He made sure to get a clap off, got a clap off on all 3 opposing heroes, and yeah, still allowing his teammates to still get a kill. Don't know if you noticed there, but as he TP'd in, he gave his ally Doom a bottle charge. That's free when you TP in. You're still under the effect of fountain regen, so you can give a charge away, and it will replenish instantly because you're technically still in the fountain, so to speak. So make sure you do that, guys. That's something that you need to do every single time. That's one of those things that this guy is doing extremely well. He's just yeah, what's it called? He just, yeah, he uses that often in any case, or he's aware of the fact that Doom is right next to him, right next to where he TPs. So he does that. Another key thing I noticed this Brewmaster doing is he's really just spamming his spells. Like, some people will have the ability to cast a spell, and he just constantly spams his Drunken Haze. Just gonna keep that Puck drunk. That seems to be the aim of the game. But okay, so with this, in the meantime, he's picked up an Invis rune, and he's just gonna wait it out. Just waiting it out mid. What's nice is, I don't know if you noticed, but he's right outside of the tower Invis range. I'm doing the alt right now. This is my mouse. So he's standing right within tower, right outside of the tower Invis range, just being very patient. And sure enough, there's a crit hit and Drunken Haze, and he's just gonna pile on the damage onto the Puck. Puck is a hero that does not want to man fight, really wants to be in and out. Doesn't want to, yeah, just doesn't want to trade hits flat out. And you don't want to do that against a Brewmaster usually, because there's a chance you will miss a significant amount of your auto attacks, which in the early game is, well, a very significant source of damage in the laning phase in any case. Every auto attack counts. So now this guy is tanking a lot of stuff. He was also tanking creep hits there. Decides to back out, and looks like he's gonna regen up a little bit. While he was there backing up and regening, he bought his boots, so that was kind of a moment of chillness for him, a moment to chill. So bought his boots, got those sent over, and movement speed will allow him to close the gap more quickly with the Puck. Not that it's super significant, but also ferried over a health potion to make sure he's at full HP. This is another thing that lower level players will do less often than higher level players. Make sure you're at full HP. Your opponents, if they are playing well, should target the lowest HP hero. And even if you're a tank, if you have 10% HP, they will go on you as opposed to the squishier, so to speak, support that might be next to you. Or, you know, they generally should if it only costs one skill. It's about how quickly they can take you down. And so, yeah, you're just putting yourself at more risk. And why would you? You know, why would you die with 2 tangos if you could have used those 2 tangos to make sure you were full HP? And sure enough, he's, you know, yeah, he was just using a tango. So make sure you're at full HP, guys, especially in the laning phase. Just it gives you more time to react. And sure enough, you know, for the last 5% of your HP, you don't really want to bother. But yeah, otherwise you can. Gets himself a TP scroll to be ready to help out. So, you know, before any real other items, he has a TP scroll, and sure enough, he sees that there are 3 heroes bottom, diving his teammates, so he TPs over to see what he can do. Sadly enough, doesn't find anybody, but that actually isn't the point. The point is that he saw his team that they were diving his team, so he decided to move on over. And just that decision in and of itself makes him more likely to get a kill. This guy is more likely to get kills from helping his teammates because he had that TP, and so the foresight to have the TP gives you the ability to potentially help out your team. On the way back, efficiently moves past the ward spot, rune spot, bottom, and yeah, picks himself up a nifty double damage rune. Now, double damage with his crit, obviously very, very nice. Good synergy. So get some solid right clicks in. And he'll just go back to farming. He has his blink queued up. No longer focusing on the Hand of Midas. Seems to be probably has had a little bit rougher laning phase than he expected. And so Midas timing would not have been so great. Now, along with his Doom, that should be quite the... Ooh! Hit the creep there with that crit. That's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, they get the kill on the puck nonetheless. And after that kill, moves top straight away to see what he can get. Although 1 on 3, I have to admit, that seems a little bit risky. But maybe he'll show us he's got. Oof, misses the clap. Unfortunate. That double damage is wearing off now. Gets a nice whack for 350 damage onto the PA and then decides to back out. Now in the meantime, he's about 1,000 off of his blink dagger now. 10 minutes in. That's doesn't look too bad. Not the most amazing thing, but he hasn't had the most amazing of starts either. His 4th and last hits. Let's just check his net worth real quick. And he's 5th. Okay. Well, looking at his skill priority, this can often be a sort of question mark. If you're in the off lane, you probably want to go more defensive, so you max your passive and your drunken haze sooner or more in any case, in order to survive harder. Now, and if but him being mid, he has prioritized Thunderclap because he's going to be an overleveled hero, and so he maxed this first, and now is maxing Drunken Haze to be more mana efficient. For the same amount of 25 mana, he will get a level 4 Drunken Haze. There's no extra cost to having a better spell. The only thing that is increased though is the movement speed, duration, and mischance are exactly the same. So 1 value point is definitely extremely great. Oh, also cooldown decreased, so very efficient to max this, and probably really nice to max as an offlaner. But as a mid hero, this is probably the greedier thing, and it seems to be that he has judged he can get away with that. With maxing it first and being less defensive. Just goes back mid, has looked for quite some kills now, and is kind of probably wanting to finish up that blink dagger, because as you guys can see, his movement speed, you know, he doesn't have a natural gap closing ability, and he really wants to be able to blink in and thunderclap people to help his team get kills. So he wants to control people and then just whack them, ideally get a crit or two, so he semi bursts but also tanks. So that's why he really wants that blink dagger as quickly as possible, because his power spike is in the mid game, and if he misses the blink dagger, if he gets it later, I don't know, after minute 25 or something, then he's kind of missed the point at which he's most powerful, and so the blink dagger is no longer as valuable. Now, given that he's playing mid, he'll probably benefit from it longer than otherwise, because he's not behind. He should be ahead in levels. But yeah, that is important to note. Sure enough, gets hooked and immediately ults, so that Pudge does not have time to attack him. Throws a stun out from his Earth Elemental immediately, and actually gets a second one off. That is the first elemental that Brewmaster will respawn to. So if you're playing against a Brewmaster and you're wondering where is he gonna come back, he always comes back to the, how would I say it, the Earth Elemental first, and I think the Fire one second, the blue one, the Storm Element third. Now, especially against the PA, he'll be harder to take down than normal because of the miss chance. While he's dead, he picks up his Blink Dagger and just watches his teammates fight it out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And head straight back mid, working on a magic stick. Now, magic sticks are items that you usually see earlier on in the game, I would say. But a nice synergy that Brewmaster has with magic stick, I believe earned as well, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But definitely auras and magic stick is, he'll still gain charges when he is in spirit, in his primal split form. So when he's 3 elements. So he might be really low health. He primal splits. In the meantime, he gets 17 1 charges, and then he comes back out, and immediately he can burst heal for 17 charges. So that could be one of those, that could be the item, that could be the thing that he does consistently, which means that he comes back. He's just more survivable than most other heroes are. Now, target priority wise, make sure to go on the squishy hero first that that keeps his opponents alive, the Oracle. So good target priority there. Don't jump the Puck usually first, because Puck's gonna escape or evade somehow, unless you have the ability to do so. Now Puck ults, and straight away he follows the Puck ult up with a primal split and helps his team control the Darkseer. Yeah, to get the kill. I think his primal split timings are really quite on point. He waits for key spells to be cast, and then he uses it. His biggest counter would be something that mana burns or stuns, or silences. So controls, I mean stun or silence, so that will be equal. So Silencer, Bane, Skywrath, maybe Shadow Shaman. Sure, not sure about that. And he's pretty map aware, this guy. You don't see any of his other teammates TPing over to help the Doom, but you know, he was the first one to be there, to get there. Didn't hesitate, saw it, has a TP, just went for it. And yeah, that's good. It was immediate, no hesitation. Probably comes with playing your hero 3,000 times. Now looking to work on that Hand of Midas again. I guess it's a good pickup later. Ooh, this looks like he's not gonna last long. No, that was just out of position farming. Why is that out of position? The mid area of the map, guys, is the most dangerous area of the map, because it's the quickest place that anybody can get to. I'm just gonna fast forward this. Now, do note, while the game is paused, he checks the score screen real quick, so he gets a okay. We won't fast forward. So he gets an overview of the whole game. But key point there about his death is the middle of the map is the place that everybody can get to the quickest. It sounds really simple, but it really does mean that the middle of the map is where the most people die. I'm pretty sure it was the same in Han. There's like a death map, so to speak, a map of where the most people die, and yeah, mid is where you're the most likely to walk through. It's the shortest place from anywhere else to get to, so it's extremely important. And that's why late game you should never be farming mid. Pretty much once the mid towers are gone, you should watch out at the very least. Even with that one ward there, there are so many ways to get to you. And yeah, he paid the price himself. Yeah, himself right there as well. And grabs himself a nice haste rune. Just still keeping an eye on what's going on. Pops the haste rune and looks like he's gonna want to make his way bottom. Yeah, indeed. Looks like they're gonna try and defend this. Yeah. It's not unrealistic. So blink, clap, ult. That's the combo. Make sure to stun one person and immediately afterwards cyclones the Darkseer, keeping Darkseer out of the fight and allowing his team to get close enough to do something. Team fights, just blink, clap, whack, drunken haze. So you're really there to control people. You don't have to be too afraid, especially when you have your ult. You should just be balls in, actually, and just control the opponents and then get some right clicks in. And I think he does a good job of knowing his role in that. He makes sure to stun with the earth elemental, and using the storm elemental, make sure to cyclone somebody that is important to keep out of the fight or to keep in a certain position. He really does that very quickly. He doesn't even the amount of micro is, he seems to be controlling all three of them at the same time. It's not like he's individually controlling each of them and doing some amazing mumbo jumbo type of stuff. It's quite solid. So sees the opportunity to go on a Darkseer, who did just surge away, so won't be getting the kill there. Gets his Midas finally, about minute 20, so it's not best timing, and as soon as it comes off cooldown in his backpack, uses it on the catapult to get some kills. Now, I wonder what he's gonna go for next. He's 4th in net worth, which is fine, and you know, would normally be 3rd if this Doom wasn't just demolishing this game so much. Got his blink now. What's the next item he goes for? AC. Ah, it's so cool that yeah, AC has the visual now as well. Pretty cool stuff. Sees that there's something going on Roche, so makes his way over. He might not be in time, but you know, he's moving over in any case. Realizes he's gonna be too slow, so uses his TP instead. And note that he didn't use his blink dagger right at the end. Oh, nice. Okay, didn't manage to kill the PA before she killed someone else, but does okay. Uses the purge from the storm. Oh, nice use of those spells. The purge from the storm spirit, really strong. So good awareness. It's hard to see what is what. I think the visual animation of the storm purge is not that clear. I mean, the earth elemental, the boulder kind of, you see it flying, so that's probably what you notice the most, and you notice the stuff that you notice the cyclone, obviously, because there's super long mules. But the purge was I think he purged off some of Oracle's spells, so that was that's what it looked like. It was really strong. Nice synergy with the Sven armor. You already will probably miss most of your auto attacks on the Brewmaster, but he has armor as well, so that just makes things really annoying. That just goes back to farming the jungle. Probably wants to save up for the first part of his AC. And yeah, just keeps that puck drunk. Ooh, is he gonna make it out of this? Yep. So that's that right there, guys. That was the power of the of the Brewmaster. He got initiated on. He was almost dead. He had 2 heroes on him. Big ultimate wasted, or used in any case. But he made it out alive because he primal split, and suddenly you couldn't deal the damage you could normally deal to him. It's how do I say it? That's he's pretty much the same rule applies to him as with other tanks. Just don't go on the Brewmaster as long as his team's ready to follow up. Now this was a little bit extremely out of position, and he's still vulnerable to magic damage and of course control and silences. But when his team's right behind him, you don't want to blow your big spells on him. So right there, he was really on point in. He got hooked. As soon as he was free from the Pudge ult, he ulted, and he was at about 10% HP, and he was able to do a lot as the elementals that he turns into, fire, storm, and earth. And yeah, just do really well throughout that fight. Still contribute to the team fight. So he's like guaranteed team fight ability. Notice the whole time that he was dead, he was watching his teammates, so that when he respawned, he was in a position to show up straight away. And even though he didn't contribute to the kill, he is there to capitalize on the advantage that his team got from the kill, which is pushing. And he doesn't just walk along with their creeps, he farms the enemy jungle, being ready to initiate from the sidelines in this instance, or just show up once creeps are there. Uses his clap to push, so that's speeding up, that's buying or saving, being efficient with time. So yeah, Thunderclap, I mean, I think it should take out about how much would I say? About what? 80% of creep wave's health. So it's usually yeah, it can push kind of hard. He's just not gonna nuke a whole creep wave straight away. Maybe if he had Veil, I don't know, Veil Brewmaster. His buddy Doom is diving pretty deep there. Gets ulted by the puck, so immediately turns into uses his primal split and works towards controlling his opponents, setting up skills such as the ice path, and just yeah, there putting himself in a position to putting the earth elements in a position to, how would you say this? So that when he respawned, he was right next to the PA. sadly enough, did overextend there a little bit, went a little bit deeper than his team wanted to go. But he's still 4th in net worth. His team has still managed to take a tier 3, the first one of the game. So he'll probably be fine. Now this time he doesn't seem to be paying as much attention to the rest of the map. I don't know, maybe he went and got some coffee. Or smoke. Now potential items, I wonder about Greaves on him, maybe as a support. One of Brew's biggest problems is of course the being silenced, so not being able to cast his spells. But he has a pretty low mana pool, which contributes to not being able to cast his spells. And so mana boots are something that he can that is gotten on him at times. But if you add a mech to that, Greaves would allow him to purge any silence off. So he would not be as much of a, how do you say it, a blink initiator, but the Greaves would make him defensively much more viable, and still providing his team with a healing aura, and also yeah, himself with the mana regen that he generally needs. I'm really curious about the viability of that. I don't know if anybody has ever done that. If any of you guys know, please let me know. I'm yeah, like I said, curious to learn and wonder what you can do with this hero. I mean, when it comes to heroes that you can play a few thousand times, this is definitely one of the ones that would seem more entertaining. It's complicated enough to stay fun for a ton of games, and versatile. You can do quite a lot with him. And all the auras are work on him while he's in spirit form, so that's great for team fights. Maybe not that late game, but you can go mid, you can go off lane, so there are 2 lanes that you can go. Oof. Sure enough, there was a silence, but yeah, can't purge it. And he does. I think one of the biggest issues is he doesn't have a real farming ability. Which is why this guy definitely got a Midas this game. Again, he's dead, but he's paying attention to what his team is doing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And just keeping an eye on anything that might give him information. Not just his opponents, but he also checks his allies to see what items they have. So clicked on the Jakiro there real quick. Buys the AC immediately and TP's over. I think he I don't know if he shift queued that, but you know, it was insta blink onto the neutral camp there. Use Midas, grab bounty, get out. And it's those little things that save time. He did that within, what, 2 seconds? And that means he's ready to do something else on the map. So really strong. And his opponents are all asking for this game to be over. Now, along with that AC, they should be able to push a lot faster. So noting that AC does decrease armor on buildings, it should be his Earth Element, sorry, does extra damage to buildings. So he becomes quite the pusher actually, along with AC. At least in spirit form. So it's a very safe way to take towers. you think about it. Nice. Did not think about that synergy. That's a cool one. I mean, I know it works, but it's actually even more effective than I realized. In any case, guys, that was Dayen on the Brewmaster. Yeah, definitely learned a lot, enjoyed watching him. I hope you guys did too. Let me know if you did, didn't. If there's anything else you'd rather see, like me to talk about more. Drop us a like, subscribe, and just let us know. See you guys next time.